Peace. This is a meat and potatoes sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is the time of Kali. Kali is an Indian goddess, and I'm sure many of you know about that. But in order for any change to take place, Kali must destroy. There must be blood spilt, either spiritually or physically. And you're going to see this in the modern paradigm. One thing about politics or politricks is that before something happens, they get you used to it. Now, Joe Biden is creating a disinformation governmental agency. Let me translate to you what that means. Basically, the government is going to decide what is truth. And truth is whatever they deem it to be. And actual truth will be falsehood. This will be disinformation. You've seen totalitarian governments do this all the time. You've seen it with Lenin, Mao, Idi Amin. You've seen it over and over and over again. In other words, all this propaganda that you're talking about, free country this, free country that, no, that's over with. And one of the people that was trying to tell you about this was George Orwell. But he deemed it the ministry of truth. That is what he deemed it. So they're testing it on Facebook. They're testing it on other social media platforms. Even if you say something true, they don't think that you have the right to say it. So they're going to erase it. And like I said about Kali, before there is a golden age or age of altruism or humanism at its best, there has to be total upheaval. And it's easy to get lost. And you got to remember, for those that live in Michigan, and I say this, what they're not telling you is that the plot on Governor Whitmer, did you know that at least a dozen of those people were FBI informants? Did you know that? And that's nothing new. You can read a book called Clansville, USA. You want to know who the agent was for Hoover? His name was George Dorset, a KKK informant who was a pastor under Bob Jones, who had the largest chapter then in North Carolina. And they even had a documentary about that. Same thing with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was trying to give him mouth-to-mouth? Mariel McCutcheon, who was from the intelligence community. And you can get the book Orders to Kill by William Pepper. The thing is that there's always a saying, keep your enemies close. And one thing about when you're trying to tell the truth, one of the first things they're going to do, they'll get you in court. They'll ignore you for a little bit until you start getting the numbers. Then they'll start shutting you down, all your platforms. And then people will go somewhere else. And then after a while, people don't even, want to do what they're supposed to do. And then that's how they end right back up on this planet again. And a simple exercise you can do is that when you're doing something and you're doing your past life regression, etc., all you need to do is really talk to angels, and angels are very good at telling you whether or not you're coming back. They'll just tell you. Now, will they tell you everything? No. Some of them will tell you just enough where either that'll light a fire under you, or you'll just be like, okay, I'll come back. And you'll do the same thing. You'll vote. Well, we need to get better leaders in there. Or you'll have the other camp that, oh, well, we should just lead ourselves. Oh, okay. Really? Do you lead your family? Do you lead your community? The average person can't even lead their relationship. How you going or their community? So how you going to lead an organization? See, here's one thing about the gods, and let me put this very bluntly. One thing about the gods, not only will they test you, they want to see if you're a liar. They want to see. They don't have no problem with you being flawed. What they do have a problem with is your chest being stuck out for no reason. And in the age of Kali, you will have upheaval. Everything that's happening now is not a mistake. Right on CNN, they're talking about, hey, people going to be starving. And if you can move back with your parents or your grandparents or your aunt, move back with them. Housing is about to crash again, just like in 2008. Take Florida, for instance. They just upped rent payments. People that were paying $1,700 for an apartment in Florida is $3,500 now. They're squeezing you. They're doing culling. And what's going to happen? The pharmaceutical corporations are going to have a field day because everybody's going to be treated for schizophrenia, mental disorders, split personality, and suicidal tendencies. They want the corporations to win. And who is Biden, the clone, appointing? Nina, remember this name, Nina Jekowitz. And she's under the behest or the largesse of the Department of Homeland Security. And for all these so-called feminists who think they're going to escape unscathed, not going to happen. You're going to suffer too. I know, right? You thought you were just going to get away and make statements like toxic masculinity. It's over. And now you have also other players because of CERN with all these portals opened up. So the gods, when people say, well, why don't the gods stop this? My question to you is, what if the gods don't want to stop it? What if the goddesses don't want to stop it? Then what? Something for you to ponder. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I'm the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.